Well, and this is one of those stories that crosses over to mainstream. Every news program had an item about it. And for the people who don't follow the NFL on a drip-by-drip basis, it was a shock because they're not thinking about it. They're not talking about it. They're not wondering about it. It just happens, and it's presented as shocking news out of the NFL. Now,
listen, that was a telltale, right? I honestly, yesterday, it's funny you're saying that, right? Because I don't want to make fun of people or all that. But I did see some people, maybe not NFL insiders, but people that follow sports, are like, this is shocking. And I really want to throw the flag out and go, you're not paying attention to football if you thought this was shocking. This was a mainstream conversation in the football world for quite a while now. And you kind of exposed yourself by going, oh, this is shocking. I want to go, you're not following the sport very closely. But, yeah, I just wanted to make that point. And I hear what you're saying totally there.
Oh, I mean, we talked about it on NBC in one of the final segments of the show.
Right.
I pointed out. And I think that's one of the reasons why the NFL picked that game. Because I got so many complaints from people as if I'm the one selecting the game.
Right.
Why don't you have the 49ers and the Seahawks? Those are better teams. The winner of that game is going to be in position to get to the Super Bowl. The winner of the game between the Steelers and the Ravens, they're going to be one and done in the playoffs. So, but because it had that drama to it, it was a high wire with no net. The losing coach, we instantly start the vigil of, is the coach going to be fired? And then what happens with the rest of the team, the quarterbacks particularly? It was oozing with drama. The one game had a hell of an upside, and the loser was still in the playoffs. The other game, the winner's in, the loser's out.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I haven't seen that. That's really good. NFL
Make
memes.
the kick, Tomlin's out. Miss the kick, Harbaugh's out. Now, I don't know that Tomlin would have been out, but, the steam increasing there is he's got something in his back pocket in the TV world. It's funny. We're going to talk mainly about Harbaugh, but the Tomlin stuff, for those of you who are going to be surprised if Tomlin resigns, it's shocking news out of the NFL. Mike Tomlin has resigned to take a job with an unnamed network that has 3 letters in its designation, which keeps it very vague. Maybe 4. Maybe 5. Who knows? But when the talk started last week, because, when you do this long enough, you know when people are saying something that they can't really say the way they'd like to say it. And all that talk last week about Mike Tomlin maybe going to TV, maybe my ass. Somebody knows that Tomlin's got something in his back pocket somewhere for next year if he wants it. Doesn't mean he's going. Doesn't mean he's going to pull that trigger, but he's got something in his back pocket if he decides that's what he wants to do. He still needs to decide that's what he wants to do because the Steelers aren't going to fire him. They're definitely not going to fire him after they made it to the playoffs. And they could lose 30-0 to the Texans, and I don't think they're going to fire him. It would be him walking away. But that it could still be both. It could be Harbaugh out and Tomlin leaves, and the last man standing in the AFC North, arguably the one guy who should have been fired and got saved by his buyout. Wouldn't that be something if Zach Taylor becomes the de facto dean of the AFC North coaches?
It would be something, yeah. And again, I don't think we were shocked that the Bengals kept Zach Taylor because of all the things we know. And at the same time, we know if Zach Taylor and that football team and Joe Burrow especially can be healthy, right? It's like, okay, there's great potential there, but it's been few and far between and a little all over the place. So, yeah, it is amazing how everything has changed in the AFC North in about a matter of 36, 48 hours here. It's been flipped on its head, and like you're saying, it might be flipped on its head even more after Monday night next week. I think those possibilities are all out there like you're talking about.
And it'll be shocking for those of you who don't pay as much attention as you could or should to what's going on in the NFL. How dare you for not doing that? John Harbaugh was 180 and 113 in his 18 seasons, 13-11 in the playoffs, 15th all-time on the regular season wins list, second longest tenure with the same team among active head coaches. With 18 years, Mike Tomlin had 19. Obviously, Andy Reid's been coaching every year back to 1999. He coached through 2012 with the Eagles, and he picked right up with the Kansas City Chiefs. He's the longest tenured coach right now currently in the NFL. Harbaugh is the only coach in NFL history to win a playoff game in each of his first 5 seasons.
Yeah.
I mean, they were on a tear there where every year they were getting deep into the playoffs. Every year they were in the mix. They won the Super Bowl to cap the 2012 season after Harbaugh made the December change from Cam Cameron to Jim Caldwell, an offensive coordinator, and that got things on the right track, and that laid the foundation for Harbaugh to beat Jim Harbaugh in Super Bowl 47. But, it really was the latter years, this sense of failure to live up to the potential that emerged when we saw that Lamar Jackson is one of the most dynamic, electric, and talented players in the NFL. 2-time MVP. Ravens were 2-time number 1 seed. They got to the AFC Championship once since Lamar Jackson's been there. They lost that game at home to the Chiefs. And then this year, no playoffs, multiple blown double-digit leads in the fourth quarter. Hell, they had a double-digit lead against the Steelers on Sunday night. It just felt like it was going to be a slow suffocation of the Steelers.
Right.
Until the Ravens let them get back into it and everything changed in the second half. So I think at the end of the day, that drove this. They are still a competitive team and have been a competitive team, but they weren't competing at a high enough level. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.